This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Good evening and welcome once again to the Mini Dome on the campus of Shelton High School for South Sound Conference Girls Basketball on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. I'm Dietrich Allen, and you are watching Maple Glen Senior Living pregame show. Tonight, the Shelton Highclimbers host the Gig Harbor Tide. Shelton comes into tonight's game with a 12-3 record, 7-3 in the SSC. The Lady Climbers are coming off Wednesday's 57-45 conference win over North Thurston and are tied with Timberline and Peninsula for second place. Gig Harbor is 11-4 on the season, 8-1 in the conference. The Lady Tides crushed Central Kitsap Wednesday 70-34 and are at the top of the South Sound Conference. This is the second meeting of the season between Shelton and Gig Harbor. The Tides took the first meeting 55-47 as the Highclimbers couldn't complete the comeback after a 7-point first quarter. Gig Harbor's Brenna Maxwell led all scorers in that game with 22 points, while her teammate, Maddie Willett, had 16. Shelton was led by Katie Johnson, 16 points, and Kayla Gans, 14. As the season starts to wind down, every game is important, and the outcome of tonight's game could determine who will take the top seed in the playoffs. Coming up on the Maple Glen Senior Living pregame show, we talk with Shelton coach Aaron Leth. It's South Sound Conference Girls Basketball. The Gig Harbor Tides at the Shelton Highclimbers next on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Other TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract. Then you're stuck with years of second-rate service. Hood Canal Communications delivers stunning HD, plus bundled savings on super-fast internet and home phone, with no long-term contracts. It's all backed by an exceptional team of local service professionals. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a contract. Visit hcc.net to learn more.
What's going on these days at Maple Glen in Shelton? Maple Glen has a Sunday brunch open to the community with free admittance when you schedule a tour. What a great way to learn more about this beautiful senior living community. Maple Glen Senior Living, located just 20 minutes north of Olympia at 1700 North 13th Loop in Shelton. They're just feet away from the hospital, medical professionals, and pharmacies. Contact Teresa Gilman at 360-427-0300 to learn more and schedule a visit to Maple Glen.
It may not seem fast or close to you, but 100 times a day we leave our office and put ourselves only a door away. An average of 2 patrol cars are struck and 1 trooper injured every month. It's Washington law that you slow down or move over when you see emergency lights ahead. We ask that while we're out here getting you and your family home safe every night, you help us get home safe to our families. Slow down and move over.
Welcome back to the Mini Dome, everyone. I'm Dietrich Allen, up at the top of the stands, across from the scorer's table, our usual location here, and the Maple Glen Senior Living halftime show. Actually, it's not a halftime show. It's a pregame show. Let me fix that right now. Let's try that. Okay. It's a pregame show, and it's time to talk with the coach, Aaron Leth. Coach Aaron Leth, on Wednesday night, you got the W. Let's talk about that North Thurston game a little bit.
North Thurston, they're a tough group. They've lost a few games by 2-3 points. They lost a Gig the week before by 4 and Peninsula by 2, and they're just a tough, scrappy bunch of gals, and they shoot the ball extremely well. And when one's not on, one is. And our girls played tough. We were up by 2 or 3 at half, and then came out in the second half, and Timber just took over, hitting threes. She went 5 for 10, and I think Katie ended up with 16, Timber ended up with 19, and those two combined, again, Timber's shooting's been on, and her threes are not 20-footers, they're more like 24-footers. So it's nice to have that shooting back for us.
Well, let's talk about your league. Right now, you're sitting in that three-way tie, although some could argue you're half a game ahead of a couple of teams, or half a game behind, depending on your outlook. If you finish in the top one of the top 3, you get to host a playoff game. That's correct, right?
That is correct. And, that is our goal right now looking forward. We've always talked, you and I have, about, we play 1 quarter at a time, 1 minute, 1 quarter, 1 game, and that's what we stress in the locker room. But it is hard to not look ahead and say, hey, we want to be that top 3 because we want to have someone have to come to the Mini Dome and play. Mini Dome's a tough place to play. Number one, it's a collegiate-sized floor. Most teams don't know that. That extra 10 feet after 32 minutes, it wears on teams. And not to mention our crowd has been extremely supportive this year. We encourage them to keep coming out and supporting the gals. But ultimately, our goal is to be number 1. I mean, we look at our seeds and we know who we might play and what division we might play out of, whether it's the Pierce County League or the GSL. And obviously you would like to be a number 1 seed, pulling number 4 out of the GSL and playing at home. But only time will tell, and we got to get through this one tonight.
Let's talk about Gig Harbor. You played them at Gig Harbor, lost by just a small margin, really. You felt you probably could have had that if things have gone a little bit differently.
Yeah, again, we played with 7 that night, and we didn't have anybody foul out of that game, which was absolutely phenomenal. Defense on all the girls' parts. Jasmine Griffin played 32 minutes, never stepped off the floor. She played game of her life on defense, and they have some extremely great players on their team, D1 prospects. And so for us to go in there and stick with them all the way to the end, I think 2.5 minutes left, we were down by 1, or up by 1, and they ended up winning by 8. We just couldn't hit a shot, and they hit their free throws. And the difference in the game was free throws and turnovers, and so we feel like we've cleaned some stuff up this year, and our free throw shooting is better, and so we're going to play the same defense we played there, and hopefully we'll get a few more buckets.
Now, you have everybody available for tonight, so you have more than 7 on your bench, right?
That is correct. We actually have a full 9 tonight. It's nice to have everybody back, and actually I was talking to Megan from Gig Harbor, and what's interesting is when we played Timberline, we had 7. When we played Peninsula, we had 7, and when we played Gig Harbor the last time, we had 7, and so it's kind of nice to finally have everybody healthy and, here. And so, yeah, that helps us out when it comes time to subbing.
Just a wild question came into my mind. Let's say we go a couple weeks in the future and there's some kind of weird tiebreaker going on with something in this league, is that even possible, or would you even do that?
The tiebreaker rule in this league is head-to-head. So obviously if we split with Gig Harbor, and the standings were supposed to stay like that, and we win out and Gig Harbor wins out, then we would have a tie. I believe they go then to points scored against and points scored for, and then if those are even, then they go to see who you've played and who you've beat in league. And so with us losing to Peninsula and them beating Peninsula, but Timberline beat them and we beat Timberline, it still is just a menagerie of teams. And so basically the way it would roll down is it would be a co-championship of the South Sound League, but for that first place at districts, then they would go to that tie-breaking rule.
Okay. But let's avoid all that and just win out, right?
The key is to win out. Maybe hopefully those other teams can take one from Gig, but ultimately if we can win by 10 tonight, then we ultimately have that tiebreaker because they beat us by 8. So right now I'm not looking to win by more than 1. We just want to win tonight.
All right, good luck tonight, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Shelton coach Aaron Leff, pretty happy with what he has going with this Shelton Lady High Climber team. We're about ready to get this thing tipped off. Starting lineups are coming up. This is the Maple Glen Senior Living pregame show. We'll be back in a moment. Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is the only source for live broadcasts of high school basketball in Mason County. Next Friday night, the Shelton boys return to the Mini Dome for a South Sound Conference game against Peninsula. Tip-off between the Climbers and the Seahawks is at 7. That's South Sound Conference boys high school basketball. The Peninsula Seahawks at the Shelton Highclimbers next Friday night, only on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Something happening at Maple Glen Senior Living in Shelton. Find out for yourself by scheduling a tour to see the senior living community at 1700 North 13th Loop. Call 360-427-0300 to set up a time, or you can attend one of Maple Glen's community events. Maple Glen is holding a movie night on January 28th. For more information and to RSVP for one of these events, call Maple Glen at 360-427-0300.
Frustrated by rising cable prices? You're not the only one. As your local cable TV provider, we work hard to give you the channels you want to watch the local news, enjoy family night, and cheer on your favorite sports team. We also fight to keep your rates fair, but at the negotiating table, large corporate broadcasters demand higher fees for their programming. As TV viewership goes down, broadcast rates continue to go up. It's not fair. None of us should cover their losses. Visit keeptheconnections.com for more information on how we're working for you.
Thank you, Shelton High School band. Nice job. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back here at the Mini Dome. This is the Maple Glen Senior Living pregame show. And it's now time for the starting lineups. We'll start out with the visiting Tides. Anna Stewart, a 5'9" junior. Brenna Maxwell, a 5'11" junior. Sydney Langworthy, a 5'5" junior. Grace Neal, a 5'10" junior. Maddie Willett, a 5'11" senior. So that's Stewart, Maxwell, Langworthy, Neal, and Willett for the Tides. For the Highclimbers, Katie Johnson, 5'3" senior. Jordan Peterson, a 5'8" junior. Jasmine Griffin, a 5'6" senior. Kayla Garens, a 5'11" senior. And it looks like, well, I don't know. I'm thinking that might be wrong. That is actually wrong. My starting lineup graphic is actually wrong. It's Katie Johnson, Timber Ware, Jasmine Griffin, Kylan Powell, and Kayla Garens on the starting five. We'll try to fix that for next game. Sorry about that. We'll be right back. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Other TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract. Then you're stuck with years of second-rate service. Hood Canal Communications delivers stunning HD, plus bundled savings on super-fast internet and home phone, with no long-term contracts. It's all backed by an exceptional team of local service professionals. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a contract. Visit hcc.net to learn more.
I lost my mother to a drunk driver. She taught me to be kind and good and strong. Be a positive force in a sometimes cruel world. I want to do everything I can to keep Washington a beautiful place. For my children, for your children. Become a Washington State Trooper.
And we're back here at the Mini Dome. Ready to get this thing underway. We'll remind you of your starting five. Correction to my starting lineup for the Highclimbers: Katie Johnson, Timber Ware, Jasmine Griffin, Kylan Powell, and Kayla Garens. For the Tides, it's Anna Stewart, Brenna Maxwell, Sydney Langworthy, Grace Neal, and Maddie Willett. All ready to get this thing tipped off. The Tides will be in the dark blue uniforms. The Highclimbers in their home whites with a red trim. And about ready to get this underway as it looks like Maxwell and Griffin will get set to tip it off. And the tip is actually won by the Tide. That was Stewart trying to drive baseline, turned around and dribble up top to reset the play for the Tides. Over to Langworthy, she'll drive baseline and turned around. Tried the foul line, go right to the hoop. It's knocked out of bounds. I think we have a whistle on the Highclimbers. So it'll go on Timber Ware, her first. So 2 free throws coming for Gig Harbor's Sydney Langworthy. Got the first one, she'll get another one. Got them both. So Jasmine Griffin will get the ball on the inbounds for the Highclimbers. Loses a handle, ball's free, but Kylan Powell will go pick it up. To Timber Ware on the baseline, she'll drive to the hoop, lay it up, missed the shot, but drew the foul. So Timber's at the line for a couple of free throws for Shelton. Stewart picked up her first, so 1 team foul apiece. And Ware's at the free throw line for a couple free throws, trying to tie the ball game early on. Got the first one. She'll get another one. Got the second one as well. Comes Stewart. Anna Stewart on the dribble. Near side to Maxwell. Tried to drive the middle, hook the pass down to Neal. She'll put it up and in. Grace Neal with her first basket. The full court press. Kelly Guerin's right in the right spot. Get that inbounds. Here comes Jasmine Griffin, and she just slipped on the floor, or she stopped. That's the first turnover of the ball game for Shelton. So the inbounds will go to Gig Harbors. Anna Stewart. Over the far side, 3 on the way. It rattled in by Langworthy. That's 5 points for her. Here comes Katie Johnson for Shelton, trying to get by the press. Just went over and back, just barely, and that's 2 turnovers on Shelton early. 6:40 to go here first quarter. 5-point lead for Gig Harbor. Tides have the ball. Maxwell inbounds it into backcourt to Stewart, and Anna will step across the timeline. She's going to get a lane drive and bounce it down to the corner. That's Neal. Up to Willett, Will to the foul line, to Maxwell at the top, guarded by Griffin. Over it goes, nice drive in by Langworthy, drew the foul on the Highclimbers, however. Kayla Guerin's picked up her first, 2nd team foul on Shelton. And Langworthy's back to the free throw line. She's 2 for 2 and has 5 points so far tonight. Make it 6. And it leaves now 6 for Gig Harbor early on. Got them both. 7-point lead. Kylan Powell with it. Top of the key on the dribbles. Hands it off to Katie Johnson. Katie over to Timber Ware. Timber will drive baseline. Stops, hooks past Kylan Powell. Had to collect herself. Way outside now to Ware. Ware drives baseline, draws a double team. Hooked back out to Powell. Powell from way outside with 9 on the shot clock. Side of the paint now, draws a double team. Shuffles it out to Johnson. Johnson for 3. Get in there, baby. Jasmine Griffin has the assignment on Brenna Maxwell. Stewart will bounce it over Into the corner, 3 on the way by Maxwell. That's off. Rebound sealed off by Neal. Out it goes to Langworthy with a brick. Maxwell with a rebound. Her putback is nowhere near, but she draws another foul on the Highclimbers. It's 3 team fouls on Shelton. Kylan Powell picked up her first. And Maxwell's at the free throw line, hit the first one. Brennan picked up her first point of the night. Second point of the night. Gig Harbor is perfect at the free throw line so far. Lead is 5 for Gig Harbor. Kayla Gerens hands off to Johnson. Johnson speeds across midcourt. Gonna drive near side. Finds Timber Ware. Timber drives baseline to the box. Runner puts it up off the back of the iron. Jasmine Griffin with the rebound. Lost it. Stewart comes away with it. Kylan Powell comes off with a steal, puts it up and in. Kylan's first basket there. Approaching 5 minutes to go first quarter. 4-point lead for Gig Harbor. Maxwell over to Langworthy. Back to Maxwell. Swing it over to Stewart. Stewart looking low for Langworthy. Finds Langworthy beyond the arc. Flashing up is Neal. Neal out to the corner. That's Willett. Willett drives baseline, shuffles with Neal. Blocked by Johnson, the shortest, one of the shortest girls out there. And a turnover. Here comes Timber Ware to Kylan Powell. Lob it down to Gerens on the box out to Ware. Ware fakes the 3, steps inside the arc, puts it up along 2. That's off rebound. Gerens hands it off to Griffin. Griffin will lob it down to Gerens. Can't quite handle it. Stewart comes away with the ball for Gig. Center of the court now. Over to Maxwell. Maxwell drives baseline, draws the double team, hooks it to the middle to Neal. Neal out to Langworthy. Turns around, extra pass up to, actually that's Willett. Over it goes to Stewart. Fake baseline, throws it to Maxwell. Maxwell, runner at the foul line, goes in. 4 points for Brenna. Approaching 4 minutes to go here at the first quarter. 13-7, Gig Harbor with the lead. Shelton with the ball. Katie Johnson with it. Center of the court. Between the circles is Kylan Powell. Splits the double team, loses the handle. Here comes Stewart. Highclimbers in a rare zone here. To Maxwell. Maxwell bounce it back up to Stewart. Down low into paint, out to Maxwell for 3. Oh, it's off. Rebound. Johnson taps it. And Griffin comes away with it. Here comes Jazz the other way. Trying to go to the hoop, loses the handle. And they're going to turn the ball over. And I have 5 turnovers on Shelton. There's Jordan Peterson. She'll replace Timber Ware tonight. 3:21 to go here, first quarter. 13-7, Gig Harbor with the lead in the ball. Maxwell will bring it up. I'm told she's being recruited by a lot of Division I schools. Looking at the University of Washington. Over to Stewart. Stewart to the baseline, draws a double team, spins around to the corner. Finds Maxwell. Maxwell out to Willett. Willett for 3. No. Maxwell had the rebound, lost it to Kylan Powell. And up to Johnson. Johnson to the hoop, missed the shot, but drew the foul. So Katie to the line for a couple of free throws. Under 3 minutes to go here, first quarter, 13-7. Still our score. Langworthy picked up her first personal, second team foul. Missed the first one for Johnson. Teagula will step on, and Jasmine Griffin will sit down for Shelton. So the Highclimber lineup, Powell, Gerens, Johnson, Peterson, and Gooley. As Johnson missed the second free throw, and Powell tracked down the rebound for Shelton. Lob it down to Gerens. Gerens, turnaround jumper in the paint, little off. Rebound kick to the baseline, rolls out of bounds. And they'll give that to Gig Harbor. 2:46 go first quarter, 13-7. Gig Harbor with the lead and the ball. Stewart over to Langworthy. Down in the corner, back to Stewart. Look in the middle. Langworthy over to Maxwell. Maxwell one-hands it over the head, threw it to Hiram. That's a rare turnover. Only 2 on Gig Harbor so far this evening. Tate McReynolds is in the ball game first time tonight for Gig Harbor. Johnson's going to go with a long ball. Got two receivers down there and goes off the backboard. The ball's free. And there comes Gig Harbor's Maxwell. Over to Langworthy. To Neal. Neal draws a triple team and stolen away by Gerrans. Gerrans will get it out. And there's Katie Johnson going to the hoop. A little too hard on that layup. And another miss. Comes Maxwell with the ball for Shelton. Things are shaking up here. Langworthy nearly stolen away. Up top to Maxwell for three. Off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Peterson. Here come the Highclimbers. Up to Gooley. Actually, now there's Gooley. Back to Johnson. Johnson down to Gerrans. Gerrans to the hoop. Puts it up. Missed the shot, but drew the foul. Grace Neal picked up her first personal foul, and Kayla Gerrans at the free throw line for the first of two free throws. We've been stuck at that 13-7 for quite a while here. It's 1:44 to go first quarter. Kayla's first free throw goes in. It's her first point tonight. She had another attempt. Second free throw up and in. Comes Maxwell with the ball for Gig Harbor over to Langworthy. Langworthy down to Maxwell. Over through McReynolds, saving it in midcourt. Nice work, but it goes out of bounds. That will end up being a turnover on Gig Harbor. Only their third so far this evening. 30-second timeout called. We'll take it. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Other TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract. Then you're stuck with years of second-rate service. Hood Canal Communications delivers stunning HD, plus bundled savings on super-fast internet and home phone, with no long-term contracts. It's all backed by an exceptional team of local service professionals. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a contract. Visit hcc.net to learn more.
Back at the Mini Dome. 13-9 is the score. Gig Harbor on top. Shelton will have the ball coming out of the timeout. It'll be sideline backcourt inbounds for Shelton. Johnson will get it in to Peterson, and here come the Highclimbers. Jordan with the ball. Over to Taya Gooley. Taya over to Johnson. Johnson spreads things out. Gets a screen from Gerrans. Puts it down low to Gerrans. One big step to the hoop, high off the glass and in. Kayla's first basket tonight has 4 points. It's a 2-point lead for Gig Harbor. They've led by as many as 7 in this quarter. Maxwell zips a pass over the corner now to Willett. Back to Langworthy to Neal. Neal out to Maxwell for three. That's in and out. Rebound. Oh, the Highclimbers had it, tipped it out of bounds right to the cheerleaders. That'll stay with the Tides. Maxwell trigger the play right of the backboard. Lob it in to Willett. To the foul line, stops and pops and hits. It's, first basket for Grace and leads up to 4. Katie Johnson will hand it over to Kylan Powell, and here come the Highclimbers. Kylan spinning, finds Kayla Gerrans, one dribble to the hoop, puts it up, it popped out, rebound tapped and controlled by Willett, and then tied up by Kylan Powell. That'll go over to the Highclimbers. Kendall Liberty will step onto the court first time tonight for Gig Harbor. Be baseline inbounds for the Highclimbers. Katie Johnson triggers the play from the right of the backboard, lob it in. Ball just kind of deflected and picked up by Gig Harbor. Maxwell slow the pace down in backcourt. On the 8th turnover for Shelton here in the quarter. Maxwell gets it back. Swing it over to Liberty. Cross court it goes. Willett pull up jumper. No. Rebound pulled down by Kylan Powell, and then there's a whistle away from the ball. A little late on that one, Mr. Ref. I think they're going to get Katie Johnson for that one, at least he was talking to Katie. No, it went on Jordan Peterson. Her first, 4th team foul on Shelton. It's a late whistle. Willett will take the first one, free throw, and put it up and in. 5.8 seconds to go here in the half. Second free throw for Willett goes in. Nope, they're going to wave that one off. Lane violation. So no free throw. 5.8 seconds to go here, first quarter. 5-point lead for Gig Harbor into Kayla Garens. Back to Johnson. Johnson speeds to midcourt to the three-point arc. Stops, draws a double team, throws in the middle, and that'll end the quarter. Gig Harbor up after 16-11. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Always something happening at Maple Glen Senior Living in Shelton. Find out for yourself by scheduling a tour to see the senior living community at 1700 North 13th Loop. Call 360-427-0300 to set up a time, or you can attend one of Maple Glen's community events. Maple Glen is holding a movie night on January 28th. For more information and to RSVP for one of these events, call Maple Glen at 360-427-0300.
I admit, I did try another TV provider. It sounded like a great deal, but I quickly realized it wasn't. When I read the fine print, I was locked into a long-term contract with a huge cancellation fee. So I came back to HCC. They're more reliable, the service is local, and I save, bundling internet and phone with them too. And I'm a lot happier now.
Great service from a local company. Stay with HCC.
Quickly on the inbounds, start the quarter is Gig Harbor. Maxwell has the ball down to the baseline, and Willett out to Maxwell. Maxwell for three, in and out, rebound. Willett for Gig Harbor, dribbles out of the pack. Out it goes to Liberty, will nail the three. Comes Jasmine Griffin, who checked in during the timeout. Those are quick timeouts. Got to remember that. There's Timber Ware back in there with Lexi Moon as well. That's Johnson. Katie holds the ball over her head. It looks like the Highclimbers going a little bit small tonight, or so far in the second quarter. Jasmine finds Lexi. Lexi drives side of the paint, kick it out to Ware. Ware fakes the three, drives baseline, stops, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson over to Kylan Powell. Powell drives to the baseline, shuffles it to Griffin. Griffin blocked by McReynolds. Covered by the Tide, and here comes Gig Harbor. Neal. And now Maxwell will set the play for Gig. Over goes to Liberty, down to the box. Nice spin move, laying it up and in. It's Grace Neal with her second basket. And it's 10 points for the lead for Gig Harbor, their largest of the night. Jasmine Griffin. There's a whistle on Gig Harbor. McReynolds picked up her first personal. And then there's an offensive foul on the inbounds. Lexi Moon is going to be called with the personal. There's Liberty with the ball for Gig Harbor, back to Maxwell. Maxwell finds McReynolds, kick it out to Willett. Willett cross court to Liberty. He'll take the three. That's short. Rebound tapped in, controlled by Grace Neal, out to Maxwell. Maxwell for two, just on the arc. And that's a 12-point lead and a timeout by Coach Leff. We'll be right back. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Always something happening at Maple Glen Senior Living in Shelton. Find out for yourself by scheduling a tour to see the senior living community at 1700 North 13th Loop. Call 360-427-0300 to set up a time, or you can attend one of Maple Glen's community events. Maple Glen is holding a movie night on January 28th. For more information and to RSVP for one of these events, call Maple Glen at 360-427-0300.
6:11 to go here in the second quarter. 23-11, Gig Harbor with the lead. It's a dozen, the largest of the night. Here come the Highclimbers with the ball. Katie Johnson will get the ball back to bring it up from Jasmine Griffin. Here's Griffin with it. Back to Ware, over to Johnson, opposite side now. Puts it on the floor, stops, eyes the hoop for three. It's short. Rebound, Powell and Willett chase it down while Powell saved it right to Willett. And here comes the Tide. There's Maxwell stripped of the ball, and then they whistle. You got to hold your breath on some of these late whistles, and I think that'll go on Gig Harbor. That'll go on Grace Willett, Grace Neal. That's her second 15th foul. So 5 team fouls on both the teams. As we approach 5.5 to go here in the half. Timber Ware with it far side. Gets a screen. Back over to Katie Johnson. Johnson will put it on the floor, lob it, and stolen away. Maxwell with a pick there. Brenna to the top of the key. Throws it opposite side now. Here's the Liberty. Almost stolen away by Ware. Liberty gets to Willett. Willett to Maxwell. Nice play. Willett for three. In and out. And a fight for the rebound rolls off a Highclimber. Jordan Peterson will step back onto the court for Shelton while Anna Stewart returns for Gig Harbor. So baseline inbounds for the Tide. Inbound to Willett. Back to Maxwell in the corner. She'll dribble out of the corner, lob it over to Liberty. Liberty, a couple of dribbles, throws it to the corner, saved inbounds to Willett. She's going to drive to the paint, put it up a little too hard. Griffin comes away with the rebound. Here comes Jazz on the run for Shelton. Stops between the circles, actually hesitates, kick it out, and a near steal, but saved inbounds to Peterson. To Griffin. Griffin driving baseline right to the hoop, blocked by Maxwell, but they're going to get an offensive foul. Ooh, boy. I don't believe that call. It's got to go on Jazz. It'll be her first. Yeah. So here comes Stewart with the ball for Gig Harbor. Langworthy back in there for the Tides. Stewart back with the ball. Pass it to Maxwell. Maxwell to Langworthy for three. That's short. Rebound, Kayla Gerrans. Ooh, got away with the travel there. And here comes Timber Ware for Shelton. Kylan Powell now. Side of the paint feed to Kayla Gerrans. Right to the hoop. Oh, it popped out. Got her own rebound. Put it up. And it drops in for Kayla. 6 points. Lead cut down to 10. There's Maxwell, nice ball handling to Stewart between the circles to the foul line. Now back to Maxwell, down to McReynolds. Draws a double team on the baseline, stolen away. Kayla Gerrans, and they're going to get a foul on Gig Harbor. It'll go on McReynolds. That'll be her second. Quickly, Megan Edwards will step onto the court for Gig Harbor. So Gig Harbor's lineup is Maxwell, Langworthy, Edwards, let's see here, Willett and Stewart. Highclimbers have Peterson with the ball. Gerrans now with the ball, and it's going to lose the handle, and there's a foul. So it's 1-1. It'll go on the Highclimbers. The foul will. On Kayla Gerrans. That's her second. So at the free throw line is Sydney Langworthy. She's 4 for 4 at the free throw line. She has 7 points. First into the 1-on-1. Make it 5 for 5. She'll get another one. Lead is up to 11 now. Langworthy can make it back to the dozen. She does. Just under 3.5 minutes to go here in the half. 25 for Gig Harbor. Timber Ware with the ball. Back to Peterson. Over to Ware. Open for three. She'll take it. She'll hit it. 5 points so far for Timber and cuts the lead down to 9. Langworthy and Stewart play a two-woman game. It ends up in a turnover. Here comes Jordan Peterson, waiting for the pack to go by. Hook it into Kayla Garen's one dribble. Lost the ball. It's going to be hacked and fouled, so Kayla back to the line for Shelton. That puts both teams at the bonus. Willette picked up her first personal. Kayla's at the line. Kayla Garens for 2 free throws for Shelton. Missed the first one. She'll get another one. She's 6 points so far tonight, and she's now 2 for 3 at the free throw line. 2:58 to go here in the second quarter. Karen's second free throw is out the back of the iron. Kylan Powell with the rebound. Her putback doesn't fall in, but she drew the foul on Gig Harbor. I think that'll go on Willett. It is on Willett. It's her second. So now Kylan Powell at the free throw line. Kylan's only has one basket, her first trip to the free throw line tonight. Got the first one, she'll get another one. Second one goes in. Here comes Stewart for Gig Harbor. Over to Edwards. Cross court to Langworthy. Down low and nobody there. Kylan Powell with the ball for Shelton going the other way. Timber Ware back to Kylan. Over to Griffin. Griffin in the corner to Peterson. Peterson three in the corner. No. Rebound one handing it is Powell out to Ware. Fakes the three. Drives the baseline. Shuffles it to Griffin. Griffin puts it up. Missed the shot. And there's a rebound by Willett and a foul on the Highclimbers. So we'll walk to the south end of the mini dome. And Gig Harbor will shoot a 1-and-1. Kayla Garens is charged with her third personal. Deshea Littleson will step onto the court first time tonight for Shelton. Maddie Willett has first of a 1-and-1. She missed it. Rebound, however, goes to Edwards. She'll bounce it over to Maxwell. Maxwell back to Edwards for three. No. Rebound goes to Jordan Peterson. She'll hand it off to Jasmine Griffin, and here come the Highclimbers. Trailing by 7. Jazz, another turnover down low, and Maxwell comes away with it after that. Near steal, Stewart's going to be fouled, really? Okay. I don't know about that phantom foul. Kylan Powell picked up her second to personal. That's the 9th team foul. And Anna Stewart's at the line for the first of a 1-and-1. Got the first one, she kicked that one over the rim. She'll get one more. Second one's off, rebound, tracked down in the corner. It's knocked off of Jasmine Griffin, knocked it off of Stewart, and it'll be Highclimber ball. Deshea Littleson with the ball. Now to Jordan Peterson, down to Kylan Powell, knocked away. I have a dozen turnovers on Shelton so far tonight. It's an 8-point lead for Gig Harbor. They have the ball with 1.5 minutes to go in the half. There's Stewart with it. Finds Edwards, kick it out to Willett. Willett for three. Yep. That extends the lead to 11 for Gig Harbor. Jasmine Griffin with it. Throws it over to Timber Ware. To Jordan Peterson. Back to Ware. Steal by Langworthy. Sydney to the hoop. Lays off the glass softly. Up and in. Only her second basket from the field. A minute to go here in the half. It's a 13-point lead for Gig Harbor, their largest of the night. Jasmine Griffin going to go baseline. Stop. Looking for somebody to pass it to. Finds Jordan Peterson. Her reverse layup couldn't fall. The rebound goes to Willette. Willette will slow the pace down. Get over to Maxwell. Maxwell at the top. Bounce it over near side. Stewart back to Maxwell. Maxwell pulls up just inside the arc. Put it up. It dropped out. Rebound tapped out. Willette to the hoop. Puts it up. And that dropped out. She'll tap it out to Timber Ware. 20 seconds to go here in the half. Over to Jasmine Griffin. Griffin to Kylan Powell. Couple of dribbles. Going to reverse layup. Doesn't fall in. Maxwell with the rebound. She's going to be bumped and fouled. Kylan just going to get her with her third, I believe. Actually, going to get Jasmine with her second. So 10 team fouls, and Maxwell's at the free throw line for 2 free throws. She's 2 for 2, has 6 points so far tonight. Trying to extend this lead. She does with the first one. Get one more. The largest lead of the night for Gig Harbor. Got them both. 15-point lead here at 10 seconds to go. Jasmine Griffin between the circles. Over to the far side, throws it up to Timber Ware. To Deshae Littleton, out to Kylan Powell. She'll take the three. It's off. Rebound Maxwell. And Gig Harbor heads to the locker room with a 33-18 lead at the half. We'll be right back. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is the only source for live broadcasts of high school basketball in Mason County. Next Friday night, the Shelton boys return to the Mini-Dome for a South Sound Conference game against Peninsula. Tip-off between the Climbers and the Seahawks is at 7. That's South Sound Conference boys high school basketball. The Peninsula Seahawks at the Shelton Highclimbers. Next Friday night, only on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
I admit, I did try another TV provider. It sounded like a great deal, but I quickly realized it wasn't. When I read the fine print, I was locked into a long-term contract with a huge cancellation fee. So I came back to HCC. They're more reliable, the service is local, and I save, bundling internet and phone with them too. And I'm a lot happier now.
Great service from a local company. Stay with HCC.
Senior Living, located just 20 minutes north of Olympia at 1700 North 13th Loop in Shelton. They're just feet away from the hospital, medical professionals, and pharmacies. Contact Teresa Gilman at 360-427-0300 to learn more and schedule a visit to Maple Glen.
Other TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract. Then you're stuck with years of second-rate service. Hood Canal Communications delivers stunning HD, plus bundled savings on super-fast internet and home phone, with no long-term contracts. It's all backed by an exceptional team of local service professionals. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a contract. Visit hcc.net to learn more.
Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is the only source for live broadcasts of high school basketball in Mason County. Next Friday night, the Shelton boys return to the Mini-Dome for a South Sound Conference game against Peninsula. Tip-off between the Climbers and the Seahawks is at 7. That's South Sound Conference boys high school basketball. The Peninsula Seahawks at the Shelton Highclimbers. Next Friday night, only on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
I lost my mother to a drunk driver. She taught me to be kind and good and strong. Be a positive force in a sometimes cruel world. I want to do everything I can to keep Washington a beautiful place. For my children, for your children. Become a Washington State Trooper.
Well, it's halftime in the Mini Dome. Gig Harbor leading Shelton in girls high school basketball tonight, 33-18. They tied and done it behind Sydney Langworthy's 11 points. Brenna Maxwell has 8. Let's see here, half from the free throw line. She's perfect 4 for 4. Langworthy, by the way, was 6 for 6 at the free throw line, so that's pretty impressive as well. Grace Neal has 2 points. Oop, I didn't write up Maddie Willett, and she has 6 points. 3 for Kendall Liberty. She hit the 3, and Anna Stewart is 1 for 2 at the free throw line. For the Highclimbers, they're being led by Kayla Guerin, 7 points. Timber Ware has 5. 3 for Katie Johnson, and 3 for Kylan Powell. Turnovers, not good for the Highclimbers. I have 12 in the first half. I think 9 of those, or at least 8 were done in the first quarter. So that's a difference. The Highclimbers are not out of the locker room just yet. Gig Harbor is. We're about a minute away from the start of the third quarter. Foul trouble, let's see here. Kayla Guerin has 3, Kylan Powell has 2, Jasmine Griffin has 2, Grace Neal and Maddie Willett has 2, or have 2 for, and Peyton McReynolds also had 2 personal fouls for Gig Harbor. Here come the Highclimbers, a little late in getting out of the, I'd say the locker room, but they're actually coming out of the weight room. So we're about ready for the start of the third quarter here in the Mini Dome. It will be Highclimber ball as we switch ends. The Tide come out with Langworthy, Stewart, Maxwell, McReynolds. I'm missing one, aren't I? Oh, there she is, Willett. Highclimbers have Johnson, Ware, Moon, Griffin, and Kylan Powell. Johnson will trigger it from half court, from the near sidelines. And we're underway in the third quarter. Here comes Katie, working the opposite side, finds Ware. Timber up top to Griffin. Griffin is going to drive to the opposite side, trying to get by Langworthy. Stops in the baseline, looking in the middle. Got to hook it, pass, and it deflected, but goes to Johnson. Johnson, the foul line. Kind of left it there for Maxwell. I'm sorry, not for Maxwell. Nice find down low as Kylan Powell put it up and in. So that cuts the lead down to 13. Stewart back and forth on the dribble. It's over to McReynolds. McReynolds trying to dribble to penetrate, that is. Finds Langworthy. Over to Stewart. Stewart going to drive into the paint, kick it out. Jumper on the way and off the mark, but Maxwell the rebound and the putback doesn't fall. Johnson had it for the Highclimbers, but Griffin comes away with it. She's going to speed the other way, finds Powell. Powell waits for the pack, kick it out to Jazz. Jazz, long 2, rattles it in. It's Jasmine's first basket, and that'll cut the lead down to 11. Highclimbers trying to rally here, being down 15 at the half. Tied with the ball. That's McReynolds to the foul line, to the paint, to the hoop, puts it up. No. Kylan Powell with the rebound. And here comes Jasmine Griffin. Griffin top of the key to the foul line, kick it out. Lexi Moon fakes the jumper, finds Jazz on the baseline, lost the handle, got it back, puts it up, missed the shot. Couldn't corral her own rebound. Ball's tapped and then to Langworthy. And here comes Stewart for the Tide. Over to Maxwell. Maxwell the foul line to the hoop, puts up and in. Brennan with the 10 points. Comes Katie Johnson for Shelton. Over to Timber Ware. Now that's Kylan Powell. She'll drive the baseline. Hook it to Lexi Moon at the foul line. Back to Johnson. And an offensive foul on Shelton. Oops, sorry about that. Boone picked up the personal foul. And Stewart with it. High post feed to Willett. To drive side of the paint. Out to Stewart. Stewart drives side of the paint. Kick it up top to Maxwell. Maxwell, pull-up jumper at the foul line. She hits it. Wow. And just like that, it's a 15-point lead for Gig Harbor. Griffin with the ball, trying to find a lane. Looking for Ware, hand it to Ware. Timber to the baseline. Her pass down low somehow gets to Kylan Powell. Her reverse hook doesn't fall. Got 10 on the shot clock for Jazz. And another turnover. I have 14 on Shelton. Jordan Peterson will step onto the court. Timber Ware will sit down for Shelton. Comes Anna Stewart for Gig Harbor. Willett with it. Trying to get by the defensive Powell. Kick it out to Stewart. Catch and shoot for three. It's an air ball. Johnson comes away with the rebound. And here come the Highclimbers. There's Powell. Hooks a pass up in the corner. Peterson fakes the three, drives baseline. Tried to lace a pass to Moon. Picked off by Maxwell. And here comes a nice pass to Langworthy. She'll put it up and in. And it's a 17-point lead for Gig Harbor, their largest of the night. There's Powell. Powell spinning. Looking for Johnson, threw it away. Johnson cut baseline. Powell thought she was going to go outside. Kayla Garens will step on. And here's Gig Harbor. 17-point lead, under 4 minutes to go here, third quarter. Kayla Garens did return. It's Maxwell bobbling that pass. Nice ball handling. And she one-hands it over to Stewart. To Langworthy. Over goes to Liberty. Just a long three. No. Rebound goes to Garens. And here comes Griffin for Shelton. Nice find to Garens, up and in. 9 points for Kayla. Comes Anna Stewart for Gig Harbor. 3:15 to go here, third quarter. Gig Harbor with the lead in the ball. Stewart drives the hoop, stripped of the ball. They'll keep that ball right there. Maxwell will trigger the play. On the right of the backboard, and it goes to Willett. She can't quite handle it, but had to track it down. Draws double team out to Langworthy for three. Yes. 16 points for Sydney. Here comes Katie Johnson. Lob in the middle. Somehow got to, well, I thought I was going to get to Kayla Garens, but Willett comes away with it. And here comes Stewart. To Maxwell, kick to Langworthy, three in the corner. Yep, boy, oh boy. But he talks about Maxwell, but boy, Langworthy has really impressed me so far. Timeout called. We'll be right back. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Something happening at Maple Glen Senior Living in Shelton. Find out for yourself by scheduling a tour to see the senior living community at 1700 North 13th Loop. Call 360-427-0300 to set up a time, or you can attend one of Maple Glen's community events. Maple Glen is holding a movie night on January 28th. For more information and to RSVP for one of these events, call Maple Glen at 360-427-0300.
Frustrated by rising cable prices? You're not the only one. As your local cable TV provider, we work hard to give you the channels you want to watch the local news, enjoy family night, and cheer on your favorite sports team. We also fight to keep your rates fair, but at the negotiating table, large corporate broadcasters demand higher fees for their programming. As TV viewership goes down, broadcast rates continue to go up. It's not fair. None of us should cover their losses. Visit keeptheconnections.com for more information on how we're working for you.
Highclimber ball coming out of the timeout. And let's see here, Taya Gooley checked in the timeout. There it's Jordan Peterson with the ball. Driving baselines, tried to scoop a shot up, hit the underside of the backboard, and here come the Tide Stewart with it. To the foul line, out to Langworthy. To Maxwell, top the key for three. Those two together have just extended this lead for Gig Harbor. Taya Gooley with the ball for Shelton. To Moon, now it's Peterson. Jordan try to lace a pass, steal by Maxwell. Maxwell to the hoop, blocked by Gerrans, out of bounds. Wow, good recovery there. Timber Ware will return for Shelton. So the Highclimber lineup is Gooley, Ware, Gerrans, Moon, and Powell. It's inbounds. Liberty missed the jumper, and here comes Kylan Powell. High post feed to Gerrans, back to Powell, puts it up, and in, and one. That happens to be the first whistle on Gig in this quarter. It's like Langworthy picked up her second personal. Powell in the free throw line. She's 1 for 2. Yeah, 7, make it 8 points today. Comes Stewart crossing midcourt for Gig Harbor. Minute 20 to go here in the period. She'll step back and try to set the offense. Over to Langworthy, down to Maxwell in the corner near side. Fake baseline, steps to the elbow. Now to Stewart. Stewart shuffles back, 10 on the shot clock now. She's going to go to work. Finds Liberty. Liberty up top to Maxwell. Maxwell way outside, guarded by Powell. Steps back for three. Yep. Boy, 3 threes in the quarter. And Gig Harbor starting to run away with this one. Down to Gerrans. Gerrans to the hoop, puts it up, popped out, rebound, tapped and controlled by Langworthy, but tied up by Gerrans, and that will go over to Gig Harbor. 43.1 seconds to go here, third quarter, 51-27. Gig Harbor on top. Stewart between the circles. Near side to Willett. Willett to the foul line, to the paint, kick it out to the corner. That's Liberty. Liberty draws a double team, and then a timeout has been called. We'll take it. Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
I admit, I did try another TV provider. It sounded like a great deal, but I quickly realized it wasn't. When I read the fine print, I was locked into a long-term contract with a huge cancellation fee. So I came back to HCC. They're more reliable, the service is local, and I save, bundling internet and phone with them too. And I'm a lot happier now.
Great service from a local company. Stay with HCC.
Back here at the Mini Dome. It'll be Gig Harbor ball coming out of the timeout. Sideline inbounds, far sideline, 14 on the shot clock. 26.5 seconds to go here in the quarter. It's 51-27. Gig Harbor with the lead and the ball. Nearly in the corner there. Langworthy will trigger the play. Get it in to Willett, back to Langworthy. To Maxwell, Maxwell to the foul line, kick it out. Stewart for three. No. Rebound, Griffin. Griffin pushing the pace. Throws it over to Gooley. Gooley open for three. No. Rebound Griffin. Griffin will turn around, throw it up top. Powell finds Gerrans. Gerrans spinning baseline. Put it up. Drew the foul, though. That'll go on Willette, I believe. That'll be her third. Yep. Second team foul. Kayla Gerrans at the free throw line. She has 9 points. She is, let's see here, 3 for 4 at the free throw line. Probably jinxed her more. 3 for 3, or 3 for 5 now. She's got another one. 3.3 seconds to go here in the quarter. In and out, rebound, Griffin. Griffin shuffles it to Gerrans. Gerrans off the glass and in. And that'll be the end of 3. Gig Harbor up 51-29. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Back here at the Mini Dome. 8 minutes to go here in the ball game. 51-29. Gig Harbor leads. Shelton will come out with the ball. Start the fourth frame here. Come out with Powell, Gooley, Griffin, Ware, and Gerrans. This is Gooley with the ball. Over to Powell. Powell lobbing it down to Griffin. Griffin ends up with a foul on Langworthy. That'll be her third team foul on Gig Harbor. Katie Johnson will step on. Timber Ware will sit down for Shelton. Griffin will trigger the play from the right of the backboard. Inbounds to Powell, up and in. And it's now a 20-point lead for Gig Harbor. Gig Harbor lineup is Stewart, Langworthy, Liberty has the ball. Maxwell now. And Liberty will take the three in the corner. That's off. Rebound Gooley for Shelton. To Powell. Powell lobs down to Gerrans, knocked away by Willette. Nice defense by Willette. That's the other... Okay. A little hard to do that when you're in a live broadcast, folks. Anyways, baseline inbounds for the Highclimbers. Ware back in there. Now to Johnson, to Ware, or to Griffin. Griffin directing traffic. And a turnover by Shelton. That'll be 18. And Timber picked up her second personal. It's the second team foul on Shelton. 7:12 to go, fourth quarter. 20-point lead for Gig Harbor. Tides have the ball. Stewart. With the ball. Dribbled right to the baseline out of bounds. That's a rare turnover on Gig. That's only the 7th in the first and a half. Comes up almost a minute into the fourth period. Megan Edwards steps back onto the court for Gig Harbor. Stewart will sit down. Here come the Highclimbers, trailing by 20. Timber Ware with it. Going to drive, actually going to hand it off to Kylan Powell. Bounce it to the baseline, and it's Griffin. Jazz to the hoop, puts it up, missed it. Rebound tapped out of bounds by Maxwell. It'll be baseline inbounds left of the backboard for Shelton. Johnson will trigger the play. Inbounds to Ware, to Powell. At the top to the foul line. Steps back from the elbow and nailed the jumper. Looks like the Highclimbers are going to pick up their defense here as Maxwell brings the ball up with Jasmine Griffin all over her. Bounce it over to Langworthy. Langworthy decided to paint to the hoop. Scooped. Missed the shot, drew the foul on Kayla Gerens. That'll be 4 on Kayla. Sydney Langworthy has 22 points in the ball game. Got 11 in the third quarter. Got the first one, she'll get another one. 6:17 to go in the ball game, 52-33. Gig Harbor's Sydney Langworthy with her second free throw. She's just been absolutely perfect from that free throw line. Timber Ware with the ball now. To the foul line, spinning, rejected by Willette, recovered by Maxwell. Maxwell again has Griffin all over her, coming up the court. Maxwell still with the dribbles, finds Willette. Out to Edwards for three, no, rebound. It's going to be a foul on Langworthy, I believe. Yep. That'll be 4 on her. 20-point lead for the Tides. Shelton with the ball, 5:40 and counting in the ball game. Jasmine Griffin out to Timber Ware, back to Jazz. Jazz on the baseline, directing some traffic, looking for Gerens or Powell, both right there. Griffin finds Powell, tapped it down to Gerens. Gerens missed the first one, but got the second one to fall in. And that'll be 13 points for Kayla. Maxwell will bring it across the timeline. Again with Griffin all over her, staying right there. Finds, actually that's Liberty. Liberty jumper at the foul line, elbow, nailed it. I don't know how she got that one in there. That's her first basket of the night. She has 3 points, however. Comes Katie Johnson, lobbed it down a little too far for Kayla Gerens. Another turnover for Shelton. That'll be 20 by my count. Maxwell going coast to coast, up and in. Wow. Katie Johnson quickly the other way for Shelton. To the three-point arc, going to go right to the hoop, puts it up. Missed the shot, rebounds Maxwell. And Edwards comes away with the ball. Hands it off to Maxwell. Back to Edwards. Far side, Langworthy for three. 2, 3, 4, 5 threes in the ball game for Sydney. Wow. Kylan Powell with it. Turns around, faces the basket, trying to go one-on-one. Lob it to Gerens. Gerens ended up handing it off to Powell, and it's a tied-up ball. That'll stay with the Highclimbers. Deshea Littleson will step on, and Jordan Peterson as well. Lexi Moon, a little late substitution there as well. So where Gerens and Powell will sit down, I believe. No, Powell's still in there. Oh, it's Jasmine Griffin. Baseline inbounds for the Highclimbers. Inbounds to Deshea Littleson. That's Deshea's first basket off the inbounds. That is Edwards with it. And we have a traveling call and a rare turnover. There's only 8 turnovers on Gig Harbor. 3:42 to go, ball game. 60-37. Gig Harbor on top. Highclimbers with the ball. There's Powell. Hooks a pass in the middle, but got it deflected back to her. Out to Deshea Littleson. She'll put it up and in. That's the same spot as last time. 4 points for Big D. Here come the Tides. It's Edwards with it. Over to Willette. Got Powell right with her, poking at that ball. She's going to drive, kick it out to Langworthy. There's going to be a foul on the pass-off on the Highclimbers. On Kylan Powell. her third. She'll get a sit down, as does Katie Johnson. Jasmine Griffin is back in there, and Taya Gooley is returned as well for Shelton. Baseline inbounds for the Tides. Maxwell to Edwards. Edwards to the side of the paint. Fade away in the paint with a sidearm hook was Willette. I'll give Maddie 8 points. Taya Gooley with the ball. Backdoor play to Griffin. Griffin had it stuffed right back to her, but the ball kind of ends up in Jordan Peterson's hands. She'll drive it and put it up and in. That's Jordan's first basket tonight. Langworthy with the ball. She'll get it back to Edwards, and here come the Tides. Comfortable lead for them. Edwards is going to go coast to coast, put it up, miss the shot, rebound tapped out, and Deshea Littleson comes away with it. Finds Jasmine Griffin. Griffin on the run the other way. Scoops the shot, missed it. Rebound, ping-pongs around, and Moon comes away with it. Deshea gets it over to Peterson. Peterson drives baseline, hooks it back to Deshea Littleson. Over to Peterson in the corner. She'll dribble up the elbow side of the paint now, go attack the basket, put it up, and it dropped in. Jordan's second basket of the night. And here comes Edwards. Approaching 2:05 to go here in the ball game. Edwards, top of the key, takes the three. Yep. Nope, it's two. They're going to call that one two. That's Megan's first basket tonight. And timeout has been called. We'll step aside. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Other TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract. Then you're stuck with years of second-rate service. Hood Canal Communications delivers stunning HD, plus bundled savings on super-fast internet and home phone, with no long-term contracts. It's all backed by an exceptional team of local service professionals. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a contract. Visit hcc.net to learn more.
A lot going on these days at Maple Glen in Shelton. Maple Glen has a Sunday brunch open to the community with free admittance when you schedule a tour. What a great way to learn more about this beautiful senior living community. Maple Glen Senior Living, located just 20 minutes north of Olympia at 1700 North 13th Loop in Shelton. They're just feet away from the hospital, medical professionals, and pharmacies. Contact Teresa Gilman at 360-427-0300 to learn more and schedule a visit to Maple Glen.
Highclimber ball coming out of the timeout. Jordan Peterson out to Timber Ware. Drive into the paint, put it up, missed the shot, got her own rebound. Out to Taya Gooley. Gooley steps inside the arc, put it out in the corner now. Jasmine Griffin drives baseline, puts it up, missed the shot, drew the foul. However, sorry, that's right over the basket. Personal foul will go on Tate McReynolds for third. Fifth team foul on Gig Harbor. Jasmine Griffin only has 2 points tonight. It's her first trip to the free throw line, and she got the first one. Highclimber lineup. Ware, Gooley, Peterson, Powell, and Griffin. The Gig Harbor lineup. Yeah, McReynolds, Liberty, Edwards. Let's see here. That's Liberty. I'm missing one. I think it's Willette. Nope, actually it's Abby Emery in the ballgame first time tonight for Gig Harbor, as Jazz got the second free throw. And knocked out of bounds, and we're going to have a delay in action here. And a discussion on who the ball. Crowd says it's white ball. One of the referees is talking to Coach Leth. And we're about ready to get underway with play here. On that turnover, well, if the ball went out of bounds, it'll be Shelton ball. 9 turnovers on Gig Harbor tonight. Minute 28 to go in the ball game. Comes Taya Gooley over to Jordan Peterson. And now Powell has it. Kylan finds Gooley. Down to Jazz. Jazz will get it to Kylan. Kylan extra pass to Peterson. Her shot missed and got her own rebound, put it up and missed that one. Rebound goes to Emery. Emery. Get it. Let's see, that's Stewart, isn't it? Yeah, Stewart with the ball. Now McReynolds is fouled on the near sidelines. Under a minute to go, 57.3 seconds to go. Kylan Powell called with her 4th personal. Sideline inbounds for Gig Harbor. McReynolds gets it into Stewart. Stewart to the foul line, right to the paint, nice lane, puts it up, missed, it did drop in. Anna with 5 points tonight. There's Jasmine Griffin with the ball now. For Shelton, stops, throws at the baseline, miscommunication, and I have 21 turnovers on the Highclimbers. 38.6 seconds to go, 66-45 is the score. Gig Harbor with the lead and the ball. Stewart tries to get by Powell in back court. That's Liberty with the ball to the foul line. Nice lane again, runner in the paint, slipped in. For Kendall, that's her 2nd basket. She has 5 points. Here comes Jasmine Griffin for Shelton. Lob it to the baseline corner. Back to Jazz. Jazz lost the handle, but they bailed out with a foul there. 9.5 seconds to go in the ball game. Abby Emery picked up her 1st personal. That's a 6-team foul, and Jasmine Griffin's at the line for the first of 2 free throws. Short on the first one, she'll get another one. 9.5 seconds to go here in the ball game, 68-45. Jazz's 2nd free throw is off, got her own rebound. Out to Peterson. Peterson to Gooley. Quick passes over to Ware. Ware for 3. No. Rebound tapped and controlled by Peterson, but the time runs out. So the final, 68 for Gig Harbor, 45 for Shelton. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. This, as the final goes, 68-45. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
It may not seem fast or close to you, but 100 times a day we leave our office and put ourselves only a door away. An average of 2 patrol cars are struck and 1 trooper injured every month. It's Washington law that you slow down or move over when you see emergency lights ahead. We ask that while we're out here getting you and your family home safe every night, you help us get home safe to our families. Slow down and move over.
I admit, I did try another TV provider. It sounded like a great deal, but I quickly realized it wasn't. When I read the fine print, I was locked into a long-term contract with a huge cancellation fee. So I came back to HCC. They're more reliable, the service is local, and I save, bundling internet and phone with them too. And I'm a lot happier now.
Great service from a local company. Stay with HCC.
Always something happening at Maple Glen Senior Living in Shelton. Find out for yourself by scheduling a tour to see the senior living community at 1700 North 13th Loop. Call 360-427-0300 to set up a time, or you can attend one of Maple Glen's community events. Maple Glen is holding a movie night on January 28th. For more information and to RSVP for one of these events, call Maple Glen at 360-427-0300.
Well, it's a final here in the Mini Dome. The Gig Harbor Lady Tides come in and just kind of thrash the Shelton Highclimbers 68-45. I haven't had a chance to get to my full stat sheet here. 27. They did it behind Sydney Langworthy's 27 points. Brenna Maxwell finished with 17. 8 for Maddie Willett. 5 apiece for Kendall Liberty and Anna Stewart. 4 for Grace Neal. And a basket for Megan Edwards. For the Highclimbers, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. They were led by Kayla Garens, 13 points. Kylan Powell finished with 12. 5 for Timber Ware. 4 for Deshea Littleson. 4 for Jasmine Griffin. 4 for Jordan Peterson. And 3 early for Katie Johnson. Turnovers, let's see, a bunch for the Highclimbers. I have 21 compared to 9 for Gig Harbor. That had a lot to do with it, but the third quarter was where the Tides just pulled away behind Sydney Langworthy for the most part. She had 11 of her points, 27 total, 11 in the third quarter, 11 in the first half. She just helped the Tides just pull away from the Highclimbers. Brenna Maxwell also helped out in that time. Let's see here, she had 7 points in the third quarter. Finished with 17. So there's a reason that Gig Harbor is 12-4 on the season, 8-1 in the SSC. Highclimbers dropped to 12-4, 7-3 in South-South Conference. And let's see here. Next up for the Shelton girls, they travel to Silverdale Wednesday to take on Central Kitsap. Gig Harbor is also on the road Wednesday at Peninsula. That should be a pretty good game. Our next broadcast, however, is next Friday as the Shelton boys host a Timberline in South-South Conference action. Tip-off here in the Mini Dome a week from today is 7 p.m. So let's see here. Got a couple of things to do here. Let's take a quick timeout. And we'll be right back. This is Mason Web TV powered by HCC.
Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is the only source for live broadcasts of high school basketball in Mason County. Next Friday night, the Shelton boys return to the Mini Dome for a South-Sound Conference game against Peninsula. Tip-off between the Climbers and the Seahawks is at 7. That's South-Sound Conference boys high school basketball. The Peninsula Seahawks at the Shelton Highclimbers next Friday night only on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
So that does it for tonight, our broadcast tonight. Final again, Gig Harbor 68, Shelton 45 in girls high school basketball. My thanks to everyone for sticking with us on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. We will talk to you in a week.
Thanks for watching Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.